On Quora wanted to know what is the sum of the first n Fibonacci numbers. So the way I'm trying to visualize that is I wrote boxes representing each Fibonacci number, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. 1 penny in each box means that right now I have one of each Fibonacci number, and I'm going to add them all up. To do this, we exploit the property of Fibonacci numbers, which is that if I take, for example, f3 plus f4, that's f5. In other words, 2 plus 3 equals 5, where 4 plus f5 equals f6, 3 plus 5 equals 8. That means that if I want to add, for example, 2 and 3, I can take these 2 pennies away and put 1 penny in 5, because the sum is the same. If I add up 2 and 3, I get 5. So let's redo that, but visualize it slightly differently. It's the same as jumping. I take this penny here, I jump over to 5 and get rid of this guy. That does exactly the same thing. It gives me 2 pennies in 5. So I've turned adding Fibonacci numbers into this sort of peg jumping game that you might have played some sort of variant of before. Okay, so that actually lets us add up the Fibonacci numbers if we want by just jumping sort of arbitrarily. Maybe jump here, and then maybe jump here, and maybe jump here or something. And that's one way you could do it. Then 21 plus 8 is 29, plus 3 is 22, plus 1 is 33. That's actually the sum. But we would like a way to do it for arbitrary n and visualize what's going on. So if I just start at the beginning here and jump, what's happened is I started with a pattern that was 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 penny per box, and I've moved into 2, 1, 1, 1, 1 pennies per box. So my pattern has changed. And if you fool around with this for a little bit, you'll notice that there's an interesting little trick, which is you can start with 2 pennies in the second box. And if you start with 2 pennies in the second box, your pattern is 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 pennies per box. And now you jump. What happens? 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1 pennies per box. You have the same pattern back, which means you can iterate this procedure ad nauseum. Jump, take away, jump, take away, and you could just keep going. However large a Fibonacci number you have, you can just keep jumping this way until you get to here. So now you're at the Fibonacci number that you started at up to, I was adding the first 7. And we jump one more time, and that takes us from 7 up to 9. And then that's it. That actually adds those Fibonacci numbers. So if I write this as a formula, I add from 1 to n the Fibonacci numbers, account for the extra penny that I started with, and I wind up 2 Fibonacci numbers higher. So that's the sum of the first n Fibonacci numbers. We could also write that as a nice formula because there is a good formula for the nth Fibonacci number involving the golden ratio. So if people are interested in that, maybe do it separately.